My sweet and lovely Sagittarius, this is your horoscope for January 2025. And January will have lovely energies, my dear Sag. Now, 6th of January, we have Mars crawling back into your 8th house. Why? Because it's retrograding. That's how we welcome 2025. And Happy New Year, by the way. Welcome to your new life, new story, new chapter. Now, Mars is planet of action and desire and motivation. When it's retrograding, it's weak and it's not helping at all. It's slow and sleeping motion. So consequently, your desire and motivation might drop a little bit in the area where it will retrograde. Now, Mars start retrograding since December 2024, and it will stay retrograding until February 24, so almost end of February. So first 2 months, it's better postpone all things related surgery, because 8th house about surgeries, about your health. And here Mars rules sharp objects like surgical knives too. And Mars is retrograding, it's weak, better to postpone. If you have some planned surgeries, try to put it, definitely not try, but definitely do it after February. But if there is no possibility to postpone, if there is an emergency, of course we do it. But anyhow, if you have that opportunity, do so until February. Now, Mars in 8th house is also about investments in general, other people's money that come into your pocket, like your wife or spouse, I don't know, husband. It might be that their financial situation won't be going well until February, especially if they have business, because Mars rules your house of business or your business. Let's say if you have business partners, they will not be so much willing to invest or to put more money, or if you're attracting a new investor, again, there might be some hesitation until end of February, and you might be fighting for sort of trying to prove that your business is worth some more, attracting more investments, as an example. Now, for some of you guys, it might be your spouse situation the same way, maybe it's not yours, but spouse. And even if they don't have business, it might be about their work. It might be that their financial situation might not be so going well for the first 2 months. And that's why the family budget might be sort of shrink, small. Now, 8th house is also a house of inheritance, and some of you guys might deal with inheritance, like either to you or to your kids, like writing inheritance or dealing with these papers also. Now, like about some piece of land, or I don't know, real estate or car, whatever is that, some property. Now, 8th house is also a house of conception and conceiving a baby, no matter which way, and in vitro here too, like non-traditional ways, fertility journey. And seems like those of you who've been trying to get pregnant, Mars might give you here slow progress, my dears. Try to do that in vitro after February if it's possible, because this planet is weak. It might not give you the result that you want, my dear Sag. So try to focus these 2 months on the healthy habits, eating right proportions of food and all the stuff, so that you will be in a more better position. When this Mars will go direct, then you might do this in vitro and have more success when it's more strong, because it's retrograding now. It's not helping at all, and Mars rules those sharp objects, my dear Sag. Now, 8th house is also house of mystical, sort of esoteric psychology and the spirituality house. Some of you guys might get sort of interested, and it seems like you've been before interested. You might start reading a lot about that and spending like your time a lot and having actually joy, finding joy in these things. Now, 8th house, as I said, it's about money, And it can be about scholarship that you receive from university, for example, or your kids that they receive from university. And here Mars again is slow, and if you are waiting some scholarship news, then that news seems like will be late. It will be coming only after February, my dear Sag. Now, January 8th, Mercury goes into your second house of earning money, income house. And Mercury is all about communication and ideas and contracts. And you might start, right from the beginning of the year, you might start looking for a job, or you might start applying, sending your CVs and applications, or there might be already some sort of communication back and forth with your prospect employer, for example, or sort of like hiring manager, between you and hiring manager as an example. Or you might already start negotiating the contract in terms of your obligations, and in general, like what's your position and all the stuff, like all the details about new job offer. Or you might be simply searching sort of another income source, like there is a lot of communication going on. Or you might actually start through writing or speaking or reading, earning money from the beginning of 2025. Now, January 13th, we have full moon, amazing full moon, which will have shocking effect, but positive one. Now, full moons are about conclusions, and they put light, they reveal something. And it's happening again in your 8th house. That's why it will conjunct Mars there. Now, Mars is retrograding there in your 8th house. Now, this full moon will happen at 23 degrees, meaning those of you who are born 15th of December, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon. And as I said, it will have shocking effect because Uranus will be very active. It will make exact aspect, positive aspect, the main word, dear Sag, positive aspect to that full moon from your house of work, house of health. Now, it seems like, for some of you guys, it might be related about your well-being and health, and it might bring final resolution to some issue. If something was bothering you, some topic related to your well-being and health, let's say. And you might get the news finally that you are all well and healthy, as an example. Or it might be related to your child's health, like to your kids also, as an example. If it's not yours, then it can be your kids situation. Now, 8th house is also a house of money, as I said, and Uranus is in your house of work. And here, full moon might bring sort of, you might actually all of a sudden, I don't know, decide that you are leaving your job, for example. And seems like that decision, you will be happy and content with that decision. Or you might actually earn good commission from a sale or something if you work in this kind of professional areas, that you will make good money there from your services. And that will be sort of shocking situation to you, which will make you happy, till the heaven, because this is like a surprise moment, kind of full moon and revealing some information. It's an amazing one. For some of you, it will be shock that you are pregnant, or that you actually, it might be that this might come as a shock to you, but you will be happy about your pregnancy. And if that's your case, then congratulations, my dear Sag. Now, January 29, we have important transit of the year, and one of the important and plus of January, lunar nodes changing signs. Now, lunar nodes, they are always two. North node will move to your 4th house, south node will move to your 10th house. Very crucial, very important one, exactly to you, my dear Sag. And, if you haven't listened to your 2025 horoscope, go check on my YouTube channel, because there I spoke a lot in detail, giving examples about these lunar nodes moving into your 4th and 10th house. Why? Because of lunar nodes, we have eclipses. Now, eclipses They are powerful tools. They're like rocket ships of the universe. I call them that way, to bring some situations, life changing moments, life direction correcting, let's say, situations and events that we remember forever usually. And they have power to change your life. And it's happening, because of this lunar nose. These eclipses will fall into your uh, fourth and 10th houses. Now, these two houses and the line between them in the sky is very important. Is one of the sensitive, and it's called angular house. Like there is like first and 7 and fourth and 10. There is cross. Now these two lines, they are very important, the most important in the natal chart, and they are sensitive. Whenever we have eclipses there, we feel it the most extreme way, and our life gets upgraded the most extreme way. So it might be that you won't be feeling it at the moment when it will be happening, that it's for the positive, for the better. But all you need to remember, that the universe is trying to push us to the better life, to the better self, let's say. Now, I will make a whole separate video on this lunar nodes changing sign and eclipses, because it's a huge topic, and usually it takes, lunar nodes takes a year and 8 months to be precise, to spend in one sign. So that's for how long, like in the next a year and a half, your life will change completely, my dear Sag. So stay tuned for that video and subscribe. And always check your rising sign, because that's the most influential, strongly influencing. But sometimes it's sun sign or moon sign. So check all three to compare which one actually, connecting, relating, affecting you the most. Now, as I said, I will make a separate video, so stay tuned. January 29th, we have new moon. Now, new moons are new energies, new person there, something new happening. And always allow any full moon, any new moon, 10 days before, 10 days after, to manifest into your life, sort of to bring the message. Not exactly on the same day, not necessarily that they appear. They just appear on that day on the sky, let's say. Now, this new moon will appear in your third house of communication, all sorts of contacts. Now, it's happening at 9 degrees. Those of you who are born 3rd December, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this new moon. And this new moon has big energy, because Jupiter will be supporting it. And Jupiter is planet of luck and abundance and happiness. And it's your ruler, my dear Sag. Is so extra happy to you, and it's situated in your house of marriage. Seems like those of you who are like in a marriage life, your one and only will have amazing news to share with you, will have positive news to share with you. Or it might be you would want to, let's say, take your relationship to a marriage status, or to move in together, for example. You might decide so with your one and only if you are in a long-term relationship, if you're not married yet, for example. Also, that person might also, share some good news related to their work, or to some contract, or some education that they took. Or it might be you who, you might start learning something, some new language, for example, or some new skill. But that course will be short, because third house is all about short-term courses and trainings. Some of you guys might buy a car around this new moon, because third house is about transportation, any type of transportation, maybe a jet you're gonna buy, whatever is that, or helicopter. So it seems like you might buy a new transportation here, transport. And Jupiter will help you there to choose the best one. But you know what? I wouldn't advise you to buy any transport actually in January, neither in February, only in April, because Mars is retrograding, and Mars is planet of action. Everything can go wrong with that car and that purchase. But seems like this new moon still gives this energy, positive vibes to you to go and sort of purchase a car, Or if you've been trying to sell, that will be possible too for you, my dear Sag, around this time. Third house is also house of siblings. If about that relationship, if it's not your situation, then it might be that your sister or brother will share news that they're getting engaged, for example, or I don't know, getting married, or they're moving in with their sweetheart, for example. It might be their life is getting upgraded, like their relationship life, personal life, sort of, and they will share this news with you, for which you will be extra happy, my dear Sag. Now, in January 30th, we have Uranus. And Uranus is planet of surprises and shock. It loves to shock us, and it's going direct. Finally, after sleeping motion, it's going direct in your sixth house, house of health, house of well-being, your work. Now, Uranus spent 7 years in one sign, and it was giving you all the tantrums for the past 7 years within your work situation. It might have given you a lot of different work environments and managers. Plus, a lot of you guys might have changed 100 workplaces in the past 7 years, and even professional areas, completely different from one another. Like the ones that you never thought you're gonna do. Or it could have been about technology, like AI, because Uranus is all about new technologies, or some, I don't know, about biological sciences too. Or you might have become actually a spiritual guy, let's say an astrologer or a numerologer, I don't know, or a medium, yeah, as your professional, work. In the past 7 years, let's say, you might have built such a career, as an example, my dear Sag. But sixth house is also house of health, and finally it's going strong, and it might still will have half a year until July, because July will be the month when it will change sign and will spend next 7 years in your different area of your life. This is a huge transit, and I will talk about this in a different video. But here, because it's direct and it's getting more power in the next, a half year, your health and well-being again might send you some surprises, but it's just minor one. And those who are last Sagittarius born people might feel this the most, my dear Sag. Now, this was your horoscope for January. Wish you amazing January, perfect start to 2025. Love you all. Bye bye.